My name is Janice Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. So as you know, if you have been watching the Redheaded Troll in office, now he's attacking NFL football players who don't want to stand for the United States Pledge of Allegiance. Alright. Or the United States anthem, or whatever the hell you want to call the damn thing. Whoopi Goldberg and them touched on it this morning on The View. As a soldier, I'm a wee bit conflicted. As a man, there are some times where you have to take your dog tags off. As a soldier, there are times where you have to take your dog tags off. They basically call that a suicide mission, but as a man, of multiculturalness, a person who is mixed like me, I have to agree with the football players that took a knee. Alright? Now, in case you guys don't know, taking a knee in the military basically is like kind of standing at attention and stuff like that. And you take a knee is basically their way of telling you, chill a little bit, back off, know your role. Now, as Whoopi Goldberg and them happened to say this morning on The View, which is only like 2 hours or so ago, I'm gonna agree with Whoopi on everything except for one thing. It's one, it is about racism. It is. It is definitely about racism. Now, let me ask all of you, and Whoopi, because we are all Americans here, but somehow or another, everyone has seemed to forget about the first Americans here, who still have no rights. And for the people who don't agree with me, if you've been watching my videos that I've posted up, and that I've told you there are videos on YouTube of Donald Trump straight slamming Native Americans because they don't look Native Americans. Well, guess what? I don't look Native American either. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, both Cherokee Indians, both sides. My grandmother on my mother's side was raised by a black woman who couldn't have children, or I don't know what the story is, but that does not make her any less my grandmother or her mother. Mom doesn't always mean by blood. What about the Native Americans at Standing Rock? What about them? What about Donald Trump undoing Obama's protection order, and you still don't want to say that the redheaded ginger troll is a racist? Now, here in Charlottesville, we've been having some issues about some motherfucking statues. Statues that have cost a young woman named Heather Heyer her life because some asshole decided that I want to get up and support a guy who used to own slaves and was a war hero or general or whatever your perspective may be. As a soldier, that's a war that I've never fought. It's a war that I wouldn't have fought if I was living back then because of the color of my skin. I would hope that I'm on the sidelines with the rest of the tribal people who didn't have two shits of what's going on with the blacks and whites and slavery because we were too busy trying to keep our own heads from being scalped. So you want to know where I stand in America. I stand with my ancestors that wear feathers. There are times where I'm proud to be black. There are times where I'm proud to have maybe this much white in me. But there had never been more prouder times when I felt that I was more Native American than black or white. Why do I bring this up? Because any time that you want to do something in this country, no one seems to remember the people who were here first. And granted, they weren't born of this country. They found this country. They splintered into so many different tribes. So let me give you your Native American history real quick. The same way it was given to me by one of my best friends who was Korean, who was the son of a preacher. I will leave your name out. You know who you are. Hell Piedmont. Hell Korea. South Korea. I'm going to get on that too. So, Native Americans are Asian, without a doubt. So if you're Mexican and you are of Incan, Mayan, and Aztec descent, not a Spanish born person born in Mexico, you are of Asian descent. Alright? So let's get that out of the way first. See, what happened was Native Americans were wanderers and explorers. They were the first pathfinders, if you're a Mass Effect fan. See, when they splintered from Asia, more like the northern Mongolia Siberia region, they came through there. Some stayed there. Others crossed the land bridge known as the Bering Straits. And in doing so, they became Native Americans. 1,000 years before America was discovered by Columbus and the Chinamen and everyone else. These particular groups of people splintered off. Once they hit Alaska, they went to the islands where Juneau and them are. They went all the way up to the North Pole and Greenland, Iceland, whichever one is at the top. My geography isn't exactly 1,000% right there. Then they hit Canada. Then they hit North America. Then they hit South America. And each tribes begin to splinter. Aztecs, Incans, Mayans. There's another tribe, I can't remember who they are, but they're down there. Amazons. Then you have the thousands of Native American tribes in America itself, from Manhattan to California, to the Sioux, to the Pueblo, to the Apaches that were in Texas and was moved to Florida thanks to the actions of a hero, Geronimo. Y'all may call him a menace, but the Apache, they call him a hero. You have my kind, the Cherokee. It's all up and down the eastern seaboard, and some of them are on the west. You have the Rainbow Coalition, who are black people who lived among the Native Americans when they were freed from slaves. But that's another story. That does not make them Native Americans, but that makes them allies. Then you had the First Nation, who moved out to the mid-islands between the North Pole and that region again between Greenland and Iceland. Now, where are their rights? Where are their flags? Burnt in history as a people who were treated less than dogs. People who helped build the railroads, they didn't count, but they counted the Chinese. And then they killed them when the gold rush came in. But I'm sure no one wants to talk about that part of history because America is supposed to be a saint. Well, here's the thing about America. We're the only country in the world that doesn't have a healthcare plan for our people. We're the only person in the world, only place on earth where racism is like the biggest fucking issue that no one has been able to resolve. Yeah, there are different clans in China. There's Red Chinese and some other factions of Chinese. I don't know how the hell that even came out to be because my eyes go, if you're Chinese, you're fucking Chinese. What the fuck? And it's the same thing with Polynesians and Filipinos and all that. Hey, if you're us as Asian, be Asian. Yeah, it's not that damn difficult. Yeah, you come from different Asian cultures. You come from different Asian backgrounds. But guess what? So did the Native Americans. Unfortunately, as far as my research has gone, the Native Americans, the only people who are remotely close to tribal shit for Native Americans are Mongolians. So Genghis Khan had some reach. Of course, Native Americans came over here before Genghis Khan actually came into fruition. So now I ask you, while you're supporting this redheaded troll, it's running our country, what about Native American rights? What about the Sioux Indians in North and South Dakota with this damn pipeline issue? What about their rights? They can't take a knee. They can't put arrows through the chest of these men that happen to be there. And somewhere along the line, Coyote the Trickster has fallen asleep and has lacked in doing his damn job. And so has the Deer Woman. So it's the Thunderbird. For those who don't believe in Native American legends, there was a time when they had myth and legends as heroes. Those times need to come back. But until they can find a legal way to do so without actually doing what the Thunderbird did or what the Coyote did, Trickster did, and what the Deer Woman does, they have to find a legal route. Obama was that legal route. He fixed this problem. And what does the Redheaded Troll do? Oh, he comes in and dissolves that problem, which starts the problem all over again. So now he wants to pick on NFL players who want to fire their players for taking a knee and locking hands. You know, when Kaepernick, I'm not saying his name right, I don't do sports. When he did his take a knee thing, you know, his cause spread it. Y'all think that he's full of shit. Y'all think he's unpatriotic. Well, I'm a soldier. Always will be. Even though I'm crippled. And I will die for every last person in this country. Specifically Native Americans. Because there was a movie made called Wind Talkers where they used it's either Sioux, Cheyenne, or Apache language to carry messages across, you know, things. But yet, they're still the unheard voice. They're still the unseen people. And they are probably the most impoverished people. And there have been big stinks about taking Native American children out of the tribes and keeping us from doing what we need to do. I'll make a second part to this video.